Hello, for anyone who hasn't seen my face before, my name is Nat Wilson from the Kingston Collective, and today we're kicking back into our Tuesday tutorials, which we are very excited about. And the first one we're starting off with is all about how to set financial goals for your business and, more importantly, how to track them. So we have the legends at Southeast Financial Group. We have Suzannah, Gilardi and Shane Debernardi. So welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Thanks for taking the time out. You know, your busy schedules in lockdown, trying to wrangle the kids so you can have some peace and quiet for, half an hour. Now you guys are all across this topic and perfect to speak to. Can you just give us a really quick summary of why you are our go-tos when we're talking about this topic?
Yeah, so we at Southeast Financial Group, so we run a financial planning and a mortgage broking business, and we base our philosophy based on people's goals, individual goals, businesses' goals, aspirations. So all of our advice and our mortgages and what people want to do is all underpinned by their goals, and Suzannah and myself, very goal-orientated people as well. So we wanted to be able to set up a business that shares that knowledge and experience and help people, one, set goals, two, how to set them, three, what they need to be looking for, but also help them keep accountable because, a lot of goals comes down to accountability. So that's the role that we sort of play in this space and I suppose why we're good at it and what we do. So.
Yeah. Well, there's no point setting goals if you're not going to track them because they're just going to sit there.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So being goal orientated, are you a bit of a list person, Suzannah, then? List and spreadsheets?
Yeah, but I'm also quite visual. So I'm big on creating vision boards. So whether that's in Pinterest or if it's a physical, like on my wall, I've got pictures. So, within the business, we don't have so many pictures hanging up for our goals, but, you'll see on a lot of our socials, it's very goals focused in the types of pictures we put up as well.
Yeah.
We probably get creative that way with our goals. But otherwise, yes, very much a list person.
Yeah. Perfect. Love a good list. Okay, so we'll jump into it. So before we start, can we just sort of touch on why goal setting is so important in running a small business or any business, really? But
Yeah. So it's really important because it anchors you back to, I guess, why you set up and set out for your business in the first place. So you obviously set up for a reason. So making sure you've got goals along the way will keep you on a pathway, and it'll set you up in the right direction. It'll help you focus on the areas that you want to on a daily basis. I think as small business owners, we can often find ourselves running and just things get really busy. So if we always have those goals visible in our face all the time, we can always just anchor back at any point and just stop and realize that's why we're doing it. It can help you define the clients that you want to work with throughout a set time period as well. So I find that's really useful. It just gives you meaning to your work as well, I think, overall. Yeah.
Absolutely. What are you working for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's important because you got that two aspect, because obviously you've set up a business or you're doing something for a reason, probably driven by personal goals or a personal aspiration or whatever you want to do in your life. But then to drill it down to be, okay, well, what are the business outcomes that lead to, and what are the business goals that then lead to my actual aspirations and lifestyle choices and things I want to do personally. So kind of mix of both worlds there.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, one feeds the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, everyone's got dream goals when they start a business, don't they? So it's a matter of getting from start to your finishing line, wherever that may be. So how would we go about, so we've started, how do we get started in setting goals? What do we need to start with?
Yeah, I think, you look at, it's always important. I mean, it's great to do it when you start, but it's also great to do it sort of periodically as well. So making sure they're SMART goals, in terms of SMART is in like specific, measurable, achievable or actionable, realistic, and have a set time frame. So don't just, I want to do this and it doesn't actually have a time frame that you do it by, because you need to know what you're measuring against. You need to say, okay, well, by the end of this year, I want to be here. I want to achieve this. how do I do it, and then break down your steps to get there. So it's that action plan to say, okay, well, if I want to be here in 12 months, well, what are the smaller goals that are actually going to get me there, and how do I keep on reviewing and maintaining?
Yeah.
That's a good starting point, Suze.
Yeah, it's just making sure you've got your big goal and chunking it down. It could be 6 monthly, but then, like, personally, we chunk ours down to a monthly kind of goal for each of our goal areas. And then that can drive your daily to-do list. So it's just making sure, it's really detailed enough for you that you're able to stick to it.
Okay, yeah. So if you're setting a bigger goal, that doesn't necessarily need to be 12 months. So you can do 6 monthly if you wanted, or 2 yearly, like have a main goal and then break it down.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of drive is from, okay, and as you said before, Nat, is, what's the end goal? Why did I actually set this up? But it's not going to happen overnight. People need to understand that expectation. And it may be, okay, in 5 years, I want to be here, but then how do we do that step by step to get us there? And it's important as a business owner to reflect on it, but like, you've got your individuals, or you may have employees or staff that actually, you should be a part of those conversations, or those smaller conversations, because if they're the ones producing income or driving work, or driving employment, or keeping business morale up, or customer satisfaction and things like that are actually going to get you to big goals. If they're part of the little steps, then it's going to help drive the whole entire business in a positive way. So it's not just about you as a business owner sitting back and saying, okay, these are our goals, and telling your staff, okay, let's go achieve them, because they're not going to feel like they've got the input they so
they've got no buy-in then. So really, to have the buy-in to drive your goals and vision. And
when
the pillars, right, Suze, that we end up breaking them down to.
So what we do as well for our business is we break them into pillars as well, so kind of subtopics, I guess you would call them. So for example, we've obviously got our numbers goals that we have around revenue and sales and that kind of stuff. Then we have another sort of subgroup for our people, which is us at this stage, but it's sort of, our individual personal goals. What does that look like? How does that link into the business? But also, is there anything, say, in the next financial year, that we as individuals want to upskill in? So any sort of educational things like that we want to do. Another subgroup is our processes, our business processes. So what do we want to focus on to help drive efficiencies, or is it compliance focused? So what are some key targets or goals throughout the next year that we want to try and work upon?
Yeah.
Our clients is another one. We always have that as a subgroup as well. So are we doing some analysis? Are we working with the clients that we want to work with? How do we target more of those? So we always have a client goal. Community. So what's our involvement in the community? How are we giving back as well? And then really it's just the last one is just our overall vision, and just making sure as one of our goals that we're constantly checking back into our vision. Are we staying true to what we're about, and is it linking and flowing through all of our marketing, and are we staying true to what we want it to do?
Yeah. And I suppose that helps you with your tracking, which is the next point. If you've got your different your pillars, as you said. That helps you track it. So, sorry, I've got a child who's snuck out of her bedroom trying to sneak around me. It's a bit distracting. Okay. So we've got our goals, and we've set out the pillars as you've talked about.
Yeah.
What's a great way to keep track of them? So, whilst the conversation you've talked monthly, and you've also mentioned daily.
Yeah.
So, how often should you be checking those goals or touching base with them?
Yep. At the start of the new month, we'll always look at the prior month. So we run our, revenue information, and I'll come back to that in a sec, but we always do a bit of a catch up, and we take stock of all of our goals and look at the activity that's happened throughout the month. So have we met for that month what we set out to achieve, whether it's through revenue, client numbers, marketing posts, or anything like that. So we'll always, at least monthly.
Yeah.
And then,
the key to that is setting it monthly. It's not, we'll do it Friday, and then Friday comes along and you're too busy. It's in the diary. It's there.
Yeah.
you've got to take that time to do it. This is where people probably lose their accountability and their goal focus, because other things come up, life comes up, and we understand that life comes up, but it's taking the time to you know your goals, you know what they're doing, reflect on them, and take that time out of your business. You know, it might be before 4 hours before you open the doors, or it might be, you know, a Friday night, you go out for dinner or, you know, a drink and just say, hey, this is what we've done. This has been great. This is how we reflect, right? So it doesn't have to be in the office. It can be outside the office. It can be, you know, out for lunch or stepping away from the office, where you can know you've got a little bit of focus time. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Suze.
And having a set date to do it, like you said. So, yeah, I mean, mine's always the first of the month.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first thing I do on the first of the month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then in terms of further tracking our revenue, so we use Xero accounting software.
Yeah.
So all of our figures get through that, so we can run our monthly balance sheets and, you know, net profit reporting, cash flow. So we always look at that. And there's other tools available, obviously through your accountants and things like that, have MyOb and QuickBooks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you set both financial and then other target goals, whether it be, you know, client numbers or marketing engagement and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, and that's what we track on a monthly basis, just to sort of check in. And
so the goal setting, the monthly, so you've got your main goal. When you talk about your you know, you check your goals for the previous month and see how you act on that.
Yeah.
Are you setting new goals for each month at the time, or you've done it like a year in advance? How is that?
It's probably being adaptable in that instance. So for us, we've got generally like our 6 and 12 month goals, our bigger goals, and then it's checking in monthly how we're tracking against those goals. And it may be the case that, okay, numbers are less than what we need and what we anticipate. How do we drive them up? Or, it may be our social side of things. So, you know, one of our goals is to make sure that we're posting going forward at least once or twice a week on our socials. So if that hasn't happened, why hasn't it happened? Yeah. How do we engage in that side of things? So, and that's where you're saying it's not always financial based. It's a whole business aspect. So I think, those monthlies are important, because it's time to adapt. It's not, it's 12 months time, we haven't hit our goal, let's set it for 12 months in time again, and then, you know, you can catch fire quickly. You can say, okay, well, we're 11 months out from our goal and we're 10% down from where we need to be. Okay, so drivers need to come up, we need to engage more, we need to do this and that. So that's the key to I think those monthly catch-ups.
Yeah. So whilst the goals are set, they're sort of adaptable as to the environment of your business. Yeah. Okay. So looking at the numbers and, you know, your factors and things, what are some of the key numbers that you should track, that you should be keeping on top of?
So so we like to look at our cash flow. We like to look at cash flow, what's coming in, what's going out, quite regularly. Sales revenue is always important. Net profit, like I said, it's really simple when you've got an easy tracking tool to just generate those reports. You know, for people who have products, they might look at cost of goods sold, that kind of stuff. Also the ability to compare periods as well. So prior months, but also prior quarters or prior years is sometimes really helpful, just to see how you're progressing. Looking at your expenses, we're often looking at our expenses to see, you know, what's shot up during the month or the quarter, and, you know, how can we make some changes going forward. Also, from a business perspective, it's thinking about, okay, if we've got, for businesses that may be like renting, having a look at other opportunities. Is it now the right time in our strategy and our timeline of growth to look at, you know, buying something or buying a commercial property? So it's also that form of expense review. It's linking it back into your overall strategy. Yeah. Okay. So they're the main ones you would say. So so very financial in terms of tracking numbers. But clients as well. We're looking at, you know, our client numbers as well throughout the period. Also how we've been able to save people money, say through refinancing or, you know, those kinds of tangible figures in terms of our value as well that we're giving other people.
And for us, for a business like us, we offer multiple services. So it can be the reflection of, hey, well, you know, we have X amount of clients that do our mortgage broking and we have these other great offers. Is there a point there where they're not seeing what we actually have to do or what we actually offer, or, you know, the financial planning space that may help them, and trying to engage with what you've got. Same on a product base. If you sell multiple products and you've got businesses taking on one product that could use another, maybe they don't know that you have that there available or things like that. So understanding your existing clients and tracking them, and it's kind of like that 80-20 rule where, you know, 20% of your customers are bringing 80% of your revenue, right? So and it's focusing on those ones to understand, okay, why are they the key drivers in this business that we're doing, and either how do we engage with the other 80% that you know is on the lower scale and uplift them into creating, you know, better services for them and for your customers to then create more for you, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then some other tracking items could be like client referrals or the number of client referrals from your existing database, or client feedback reviews. So some people might look at that as well.
Yes. Yeah. I know with mine, I've got a massive tracking. You know, I track members and meeting numbers, because that's important, obviously, for my members' promotion, and how many people visit the website, how long they're staying for, how many pages they view. So, yeah, my spreadsheet is really long when it comes to tracking the numbers. But one thing I don't do very well is setting future. I'm always looking back and sort of analysing what the previous month is happening. So, I think it's really good. So I know I'll be doing that. Any other best practice tips that you would recommend when it comes to setting goals for your business and keeping track of them? So having the vision board, that was a good one at the start.
One suggestion would be to seek out a friend to bounce ideas with, or a business coach or mentor if you don't have someone like another person in your business. So if you need someone else just to help sit down, nut it out with you, it's great. And I know there's some great people already in the Kingston Collective, some coaches and business mentors that can offer that service.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that's really invaluable. And they're like a bit of your cheer squad that can help you along the way.
And that's something we offer our clients. It's accountability for us. For us, you know, financial advice, yes, but we're very much driven by goals, as I said in the start. So people don't always come to us with financial goals, but need that kind of financial partner in their corner to mitigate and, you know, keep them accountable and reflect ideas and things like that. So there's definitely heaps of people out in the community, which is really good, that want to help people succeed. So
yeah, that's a great tip, because it is, you know, there's a lot of solopreneurs in our group.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing is always feeling, you know, on your own, or not having that person to share with or talk to about things. I know my husband, he does a great job, but I know after a while he sort of tunes out. So that's a really good suggestion. Perfect. Any other last minute tips you want to chuck in there?
Yeah, we've probably got make sure that you have a good accountant or bookkeeper that's available to support you throughout the year for any of those financial questions. Again, lots of good accountants and bookkeepers in the Kingston community group that you can always reach out to. So that's, I think, really invaluable. Getting your tax done on time, ideally as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, rather than just having it sit over your shoulder. There goes the dog. Sorry. I feel like I live in a madhouse. Neither of you have had a noise, and I've had two children come out, the dog. Just wait for the turtle or the lizard to do something. Jesus. So for anyone who wants to work in with you guys, you know, have that financial partner, have some accountability, set goals, tracking, and just general financial help, they can absolutely get in touch with you guys. You're members of the Kingston Collective. They can also reach you via your website, Southeast Financial Group, your Facebook page,
and Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. As of Christmas, remember we were
talking
about setting that up. Yes, and you're also your mobile, so you can work with them either remotely, online, or in different places. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. We do video calls, phone calls, or face-to-face, so in normal times.
Yes. And you've got a whole suite of services, like you said, that you offer. So, you know, it might be business related, but it also might be personal, you know, mortgage financing, or just setting financial goals.
Yep, definitely. Always happy to have a chat.
Yep, beautiful. So if you're keen to chat to these guys a bit further, please get in touch. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, and they will definitely help you. Thanks, guys, for meeting with me and chatting. I'm sorry the live stream didn't work. I'll have to investigate that a little bit further. And I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Nat.
Okay, so we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.